there! Welcome to Get a Clue Casual Gamer, where we get a clue, C-L-U-E, about a game. Today, we're going to continue and complete the current trilogy that I started about 5 weeks ago, and this past week I continued it with Herbaceous. I started with Floriferous, I continue it with Herbaceous. I'm not doing these in order that they came out because basically I'm doing it in order that I got them. And Sunset Over Water is my most recent of the three to get. And I want to share with you and give you a clue about the components, the length of play, the uniqueness, and the ease of play and finding it. So, Sunset Over Water, I will say, while you're looking at these pictures as I flash them by, that the artist is the same as Herbaceous, who is Beth Sobel, and you might recognize another game she's famous for now, Wingspan. She's the artist and the developer, the creator of that game. So, but here she is the artist, and it's gorgeous artwork on these cards. So, see, components. What are you going to find when you open this box? Well, you are going to find, of course, the rule book and a postcard. You're going to find a whole bunch of very pretty, picturesque cards. They are not photographs. They are Beth's artwork. And I give you an example of some of them. See, some of them will have one little symbol in the corner. This means that there's a sun in the picture. This one's got mountains. This one's got flowers, water, waterfalls. And then you have some that will have two things, mountains and sun, flowers and waterfalls. Oops, and I dropped it again. I'm just clumsy sitting here, aren't I? I dropped something the last time. Okay, mountains and water. And then some will have three. Water, flowers, waterfall. Mountains, water, sun. So they're all like that. That's what you need because you're watching and you're looking and you're creating combinations in the game. So that's the important part of the picture. Besides that, each player will have their own set of moves cards for phase 1, or phase 2 actually, or no, phase 1. You pick one, you plan it, and then you take one, and so phase 1, phase 2. You're planning with these, trying to pick out which one you want, and then phase 2 you use it. Each player has their own set, and the back of them are different colors so you can tell whose set it is. And to match those, you have 4, if you notice, it's like an artist with an art pad there, and they're sketching the view. There's player cards, one for each player. There are these daily goals that are used in the multiplayer game. And then you have these goals that you can purchase as long as you have the right cards. This one has to have at least one card with a mountain on it. This one, to get 4 points, you need to have a card that has a mountain, sun, and something, and another card with anything on it. A sun and a card that has 2 of something on it. So you have all of these cards. That's it for multiplayer, but for solo player, because there's a solo mode, you have these specialty game-long extra goals. You have ranger stations that get placed in the layout to help with the with replenishing the landscape, and then you have a solo journal, which is just for the solo game. And that's just about it. That's what you're going to find inside the box of Sunset Over Water. Next, length of play. Well, it takes a little bit longer, I think, than Herbaceous. And yet the manufacturer says the same. Publisher says the same. I would give it a half hour because, well, I've only played it solo, and playing it solo, it takes about a half hour with setting up and everything, because you have to set up a grid of 5x5 cards and all that fun stuff and make it look neat enough to tell what's in what column and what's in what row, you know. So I would give it a half hour. So length of play, a half hour. U for uniqueness. Does this game remind me of anything? It reminds me a little of games, other hobby games, ones like Village Green or Arboretum, or the trying to figure out where, except that where you're figuring out is where you're taking rather than where you're putting. So it's an opposite effect. But yeah, it really is. I personally think it's the most strategic of the three games. I think Herbaceous is the simplest, Floriferous is in the middle, and Sunset Over Water is a little bit more, thinky. You have to kind of plan ahead. I've played it several times on purpose, because at first I thought, well, maybe it's just because I haven't played it as many times as Floriferous. But I still think that it's a little bit more crunchy, a little bit more brain burning. Not that it's hard at all. It's a casual game. I wouldn't be talking about it. But I put it really as the little bit above Floriferous. E for ease. How easy is it to learn, teach, play? Well, again, this is the book, the rule book. You have the component, the objective, the setup. I told you it takes a little bit of time to get it all set up. And then you have phase 1, phase 2, step by step, lots of pictures, phase 3, and the end of the game. Or sorry, phase 3, and then this is the end of the game. And then if you're playing solo, here's the changes that you would do to play solo. And that's it. So it really is not a difficult game to learn, teach, play. But, I would play it, if you're trying to teach it to somebody else, I would do the solo just so you get used to the movements and such. And then you can play it multiplayer, and it really plays very similar. How easy is it to find? How easy is it on your pocketbook? Well, I almost didn't do this video because GameNerds.com is out of stock and MiniatureMarket.com is out of stock. Retail, price-wise, retail is $25. Both of those online stores had it for about $18. I looked on Amazon, and some crazy person is trying to sell it for $36.50. Yeah, $36.50. It retails at $25. Don't buy it for $36 unless you absolutely have to have it now. I did realize that the reason I had not bought it recently or earlier was because I wasn't finding it in a lot of places. It came out in 2018, so it's 4 years old, and it plays 1 to 4 players. I got mine when I went to visit my parents, and I did a video about all the games I accumulated in August, and it's July. It was in my July one. I got it when visiting, August, because I visited my parents in August this year. I usually go in July. August. I bought it at the friendly local game store, the game store in the mall near where they live. and the one that I like to go and buy 1 to 3 games depending on price, just to help support them. And I realized that that's where I bought it, and I bought it for retail. I paid $25, and I'm actually grateful because it's not easy to find unless you want to pay an exorbitant price on Amazon, which do not do unless you're one of those that has to be a completionist instantly. How about go to your friendly local game store and see if they carry it. If you happen to live in another country, check out some online stores in your area. What is it? Board Game Bliss is .com is one in Canada. So you could check that one out if you're in Canada. But your friendly local game store, just might have it hidden away, which is how I got this. So I know that it's not readily available right now, but if it looks like it's something that might interest you, get it on your radar. And it's a good game. It really is. So until then, I've gone a minute over, so I'm going to end this now. Happy gaming, and God bless you and your family. Until next time. Bye.